Let's move down to East Africa, where the biggest banking group, the Equity Bank of Kenya, has announced a 12% profit jump in the first half of this year, taking the figure for the period to the doorsteps of 30 billion Kenyan shillings. Let's get more on that latest earnings from the group CEO, Dr. James Wangi, as he presented the reports earlier today in Nairobi.
The region, we have seen the Central Bank of Kenya, the Bank of Uganda cut interest rates. And globally, we have seen Canada, we have seen Germany, we have seen UK, and European Investment Bank cut their rates, suggesting that the prediction will soon be with us. We see, although inflation, the targets have not been achieved, there is a downward trend, and we're excited that particularly in Kenya and Uganda, two of our major markets, inflation rates is within targeted range. However, in DRC, inflation still remains elevated at approximately 25%. So it's a mixed bag of opportunities. However, as a bank, we are operating within the East African region, and we see an upward trend, early signs that the recovery will be fast, and we see regional growth averaging above 5%, ranking the region among the fastest growing regions in the world. And as a group, 4 of the 6 countries that we have operations in are among the top 20 fastest countries: DRC, Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania. So we are optimistic that these can only accelerate, and data suggests by 2025-26 we'll be closing at nearly 6%. We also are very optimistic that the increased trade within the East African common market gives great indication that the African Continental Free Trade Area will come through. And before it comes through, we are also optimistic that the recent integration of the East African communities, the SADC and COMESA, will do the magic of very accelerated growth. And we are seeing that in numbers, and the growth in numbers. And that gives us confidence that we can. And that confidence is built on the fact that we are a systemic bank occupying a very strong positions in the 6 countries. We see we are top 2 in 3 of the major markets, Kenya, DRC, and Rwanda, and nearing number 4 in Uganda and South Sudan, and visible in Tanzania, where we are working very hard to bring Tanzania to the same level. So yes, tail end of a very difficult macroeconomic operating environment, and beginning of what we see to be an improved environment. Improved because the region we are in is endowed with the strategic green minerals, which have become very relevant during times of dealing with the climate change. Strategic minerals that go into production of renewable energy technologies, batteries, but also, more importantly, a region that has developed significantly in terms of infrastructure and soft infrastructure, including governance. So that gives us confidence that we should be able to see opportunities in funding the thriving ecosystem of trade connections within the region that are very, very pronounced. As a group, we have entered the market with a trio: aging, the economic aging, the social aging, and the sustainability aging. We have strategically chosen to provide leadership in sustainability, the African Recovery and Resilience Plan that envisage the transformation of the African continent will be done differently from the agrarian revolution or the industrial revolution of Europe to ensure minimal negative impact to our environment, and that ability to use renewable energy, which is plenty, whether it's from manufacture of the strategic technologies in entering into clean energy, whether it's geothermal, whether it's hydro, whether it's wind and solar,